Hi all. Hi, welcome back. Again, I'm in Kharkov. Soviet Soul, take two, part. This is going to be part 68, I think. I was just going to tag on because we're kind of halfway through. Well, I say halfway through. We're some way through the German impulse. I was thinking about tagging it on, but I just put that part together. It was 50 odd minutes or something. And well, I'm glad that I did because another stupid mistake after me really wanting to concentrate on things and it's not even funny. It's not even a funny mistake. Well, it is maybe funny depending on how you look at it because it's so glaringly obvious. I just don't know how I'm missing these things. It actually involves this guy again with a blue cube on top, and I don't know. I mean, I can clearly see that's a Soviet stack of units, but well, you would think I could clearly see it. I don't know, that seems to have caught me out. This stack of units seems to have caught me out quite a lot. It's as if I feel it's part of the German line here, German forces around here, but it's not. And I don't know whether it was to start not putting blue cubes on. Okay, that doesn't block it so much, makes it a bit clearer, but I don't know. Do I really need to know there's an IP? It means then I'm digging underneath, checking all the time to see if there's an IP on it. So I'd rather have it that way. And I don't think it's ever bothered me before. I mean, I used this process in any match in Ardennes, so it was a bit noisy. It's really warm again today, and the window open a bit, and I've got the cooler in my back, so it seems to come through alright. I know there's a bit of noise in the background when I've listened to it back, but yeah, like I say, I've used this process before and don't feel like this has caught me out at all, but this is it's just rather pathetic, to be honest, to think I'm at this level of the game and being able to do these things properly. Yes, I'm going to make something. Some things are going to go wrong, but not glaring, obvious things like this. I will say it comes down to dangerous around and removing dangerous around yet again. It got me thinking. I've spoken about before about Ardennes not having that as much, about try to remove dangerous around or whatever. So I just had to glance back at both rule books and the German Soul and Allied Soul from Ardennes, and the German Soul, it's nothing like this at all. Actually, all these action steps within this game, far better process, far easier to follow as well, much more detailed though, and I think there's much more to it in this game with the German Soul. Now the Allied Soul, which could be compared to the German Soul version of this game, was more complex, just the same in the previous game as it will be here. Lots of different movement methods and whatever, but even within the movement methods in the Allied Soul game, that's right, the Allied Soul game, about moving all the German units and all that, well, the movement methods, there's none of this removing dangerous around that I could see. This is a whole new thing that they built in, and I guess I'm looking for excuses to get me out of making a mistake with it so many times. But it definitely is catching me out. Sometimes the check of danger, well, it is basically the check of dangerous around, whether it's I'm checking to see if I can surround something, or I'm checking to see if I can block the surround or something, or any of the things. All my mistakes seem to be, well, let's say the majority of them seem to be involving that. So, like I say, there doesn't appear to be any of that within Ardennes. I'm sure there's some little bits that come into it to stop that. I know you still want to try and surround units within the AI part of both games, I think. But this removing danger of surround, I couldn't find it anywhere. Not that I went right through the rule books and that. I just had a glance, but I couldn't find it in the relevant areas that I thought were worthwhile looking for. it's irrelevant though. I mean, it's been brought in to improve the AI, and yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's just really getting me. It's getting me all the time, and yeah, even the simple one here, which is like I say, glaringly obvious, and it's put a damper on things again for me. I'm a bit fed up about it. I noticed it last night, just before I was going to bed. Obviously, Martin's pointed it out, and just thought, I feel like giving this up. But and then I thought, well, you might want to give up the side of it that the mistake side of it, Grant, because it's happening all the time. But I don't not want to play the game, So problem is, I want to play the game without the mistakes. So that's yeah. It's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? It's like, but so I mean, either I don't know, stop recording, just play it. And then if I'm making mistakes, there's no, and I'm not getting on to, in particular, Martin, who makes all the comments. I absolutely want to be told when I'm making mistakes. So, I feel like I've got to try and fix them, and this is fixable. We can rewind this easy enough. What I think I'd prefer to do though is just, and I know I've said about slowing things down, pausing a lot, keep that going obviously, but I'm pretty sure I would have noticed this mistake myself when watching it back. Okay, there's no 100% guarantee because I made it in the first place, and it looks straightforward that you would say, Grant, that's not surrounding that guy, that's not removing dangerous around from that guy. It's quite clear. So that does bring an argument to say, well, would you really have noticed it, Grant? I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have, watching it back myself. So I think I might go back to that process, because also within my playthrough Ardennes, I think I said before that every part that I recorded, I reviewed back before I uploaded it. Now that does slow things down a little bit, and it stops me in my tracks a bit if I'm wanting to record more footage and there's a bit sitting there that I need to review, but I've got time to record some more, and then if you do find a mistake, then you've already recorded more. But I've been through this before, so that does bring that sort of downside to it. But this part that I uploaded that Martin spotted this error it's not that I was recording lots of footage. I could have left that bit. I could have waited, reviewed it back myself, and okay, I would have uploaded the video still, but I would have pointed out the mistake to you before Martin got there to point it out to me. Now, is there a difference there? Well, to me there is a bit. I want to sort of say, right, okay, I've made an error there, but I mean, I suppose I've still made the mistake, But there could be sometimes when reviewing parts back that I notice a mistake, and then I can edit the video, cut a little bit into it, and then fix it before, Generally, I maybe was doing bits like that at first, and then I got a bit fed up with all that editing videos and whatever, and I just generally put them out there and put a note in the header saying, look, this has happened, and I'll fix it in the next part. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, how can you fix all this? I don't know. I don't know how I could miss this, how obvious it is. Okay, well, where was it? Right. I need to rewind slightly. We were just about to make an attack on this, and like I say, I'm glad that I paused there and watched back on things, and so now I can fix it, because I don't believe this 40 core unit in here is going to be involved here, and we do need to rewind a wee bit, because the Kampf group might be slightly different as well. So I'm basically going to have to go back to the Army Group South card again, and to be honest, can we not just change this simply, Grant? I think we can, without putting cards out. I think we can fix this. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this. I'm going to put these units back as if we've just drawn this card, because it might pick up a slightly different set of units here. So I'm going to reset that first. Then I'll show you the error and the fix for the error, and then we'll draw this card and apply things from there. Okay, that's me reset that a little bit, and I brought the Army Group South card back out because it was within that impulse, which was just the previous German. Actually no, there was an impulse in between, wasn't there? We ended up, this was our next impulse after that, replacing 2 steps, and then we've moved on to the next bit, which we'll get going again shortly. But this is the card. Now, we're drawing 2 action cards, we've been through them. There was an attack made here, there was an attack made, there was a mistake made here. This was one I noticed myself, wasn't it? It was, yeah, because I broke surround on that guy, so I had to change the attack. The attack still ended up the same. It did end up that initially I'd got an attack here, but that didn't happen because that unit was left on his own. And here we are. So we're done with that action cards. We're moving on to step 5, which is move to hex. Removes dangerous sound from German unit in hex and Soviet support, or enables supply trace from German occupied hex in descending order. And now remember, these guys had activated. These guys had activated. I'll not turn them round. The only thing we're needing to do is adjust this guy, because what we actually, have I got him moved already? I think I have. Sorry, hang on. Yeah, give me a sec. I think that's wrong. Yeah, that's where I moved him to, and that's wrong. Okay, give me a sec. I've got that slightly wrong. Hang on. Yeah, sorry. This is the hex that I move it to, but wrongly. So. Hang on, I've got something wrong here, haven't I? Yeah, these are in the wrong place. Sorry. These were in here because they attacked the unit that was in this hex, and no, I tell a lie, he was in this hex, wasn't he? And he retreated. No, he wouldn't have been in that hex. He must have been in there. And he retreated into there. We lost one of the units. The other one got dispersed. And he did not advance after combat because it was just another route that he found. Okay, just looking up there. So, like I say, these have already done the thing. These have already done the thing. We've done with action cards. We checked the second action card with advance. We couldn't advance anything. So we're looking at trying to remove dangerous sound from a German unit. Okay. And so I proceeded. I mean, it's kind of laughable because this error that I made down here, I went on about it, and again Martin picked this one up, where I moved the unit, sorry, not that, it wasn't that unit, it was this one, and I moved this unit to here, and Martin concluded that it should have moved to here because this is the lowest position number, and it's doing the same thing. It's removing dangerous sound from, I think it was this unit, wasn't it? And I've just put it to this hex, looking at other possible hexes, and then I get on to myself saying, look at the preferences, Grant, lowest position number. So what does Grant possibly do up here? Possibly what sort of like is to my downfall? I look and I see that this unit could move and possibly remove dangerous surround from either one of these 2 stacks of units, in particular this one, and then I look at the possible numbers round about, and I say, well, wait a now, what's the preference? This is the lowest number. I'll go into there and stop that guy from being surrounded. No, you won't. So that's what I decide. I decide that this unit, let's not bother about these because I don't think we can remove dangerous sound for them. However, maybe where I do end up moving, it might be. Let's look at this guy. At the moment, is this guy in dangerous surround? Well, this unit could go 1, 2, 3 into there, and that guy's surrounded. That's simple, straightforward. So if I move that unit from there to there, I conclude, right, that he's now not in dangerous around that unit. Well, he clearly is still, because there's this big stack of Soviet units here that are blocking this hex, right? And all we need to do with a pop-off unit is move 1, 2. I look at the possibility of getting through this gap, and I say, right, there's a garrison there, and there's no gap through here. I can't get through here. I don't need to get through here. I just need to get. In fact, yeah, I mean, I just need to get. I don't even need to go there. I just need to go from here to here, I think. Don't I? I just need to go from there to there, and that guy's surrounded. Look, zone of control from these, zone of control from that. He's surrounded. It's not doing anything at all. And I don't know how I come to that. Like I say, when I look back on it, I think it's these guys that I think are the problem. I'm thinking I can move back with this, but I can't. So, yeah, it's another glaringly obvious mistake that I shouldn't be making, and it's disappointing. And certainly not got my confidence back now, though. So, yeah, I really feel like I want to watch back my footage myself now before I release anything. You know, I'm not saying that I can then release it and there'll be no mistakes in it. I'm not saying that at all, but I think I would have noticed this. We're watching back this, I would have noticed this. Okay, so what is the fix to it? Martin, I think, says you should go to here, and it looks kind of like it. We can't get down to here. I'm looking at the position numbers, I suppose, again, which, there you go. I mean, I should have been looking at that down there, and maybe I shouldn't have been looking at it here. But just, okay, go to the position hex, Grant, but then have a proper look to make sure you've got it right, and the unit is not surroundable anymore, which he clearly was. So, well, I suppose this is a lower number, so my guess is that us moving to here is doing nothing, though, isn't it? I mean, I feel pretty sure about that. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. This pop-off unit still moves to here, and the guy's surrounded. So you can see this pop-off unit's not going to move if we can move to here. So if this guy does go, he's breaking zone of control, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4. If he does go to there, which I think is the hex Martin suggests, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be. Well, first of all, let's just see if that unit, or to be honest, there's a good chance these might be not surrounded anymore. Well, you can see that completely locks off these two units from moving anywhere, and this unit. None of these can move. In fact, does that not surround them? In actual fact, I think so, doesn't it? Which is interesting, because movement method 7 would be moved to a hex that causes surround of a Soviet unit. So so yeah, I mean, these guys are not surrounded anymore. This guy can clearly move to here. These guys can't get anything. They've got a zone of control here and here, but not here. And that's an important one. It is only that hex, so even looking at that, because remember this big stack, Grant, exerting zone of control into here. So, but he can now move from here to here if I move that unit to there. And whereas these were surrounded as well, they can do the same thing by the looks. So it's actually moving surround from everything now. So just to double check the restrictions, we are not causing Soviet proximity to there. I mean, no, this guy's still surrounded anyway, so that's fine. Don't cause any German unit in hex and Soviet support to be put in dangerous round. So by me doing that, does that put any units in dangerous round? It does not. It's removing surround from these two. It's not putting anything else in dangerous round. Don't cause surrounded Soviet unit to be unsurrounded. I always like to leave the middle one to the end. Don't cause Soviet surrounded Soviet unit to be unsurrounded. Well, that wasn't the case. This guy's still surrounded by these two. He wasn't. Well, he was maybe doing some part of that, but these are still surrounded, right? That's important bit. And don't add net unit and a marsh hex, right? But I suppose the last one to check is, if not in dangerous round, don't end move in dangerous round. Well, I believe he was in danger anyway, wasn't he? However, again, I don't think he is in dangerous round where he's ending. Let's just have a look. Is he in dangerous round? Yeah, he pretty much is, isn't he? Because there is a gap here while he's here, so this pop-off unit can go 1, 2, 3 into there and surround that guy. So he doesn't even care if he's moving in a hex that puts him in dangerous round. So yeah, that's where he should have went. And yeah, it's quite clear, and yeah, like I say, a bit embarrassing that I'm getting things like that wrong. I know I've just come away from my last mistake saying that I was a bit hard on myself, but maybe should have been harder on myself. Give myself a shake. Okay, so that was that part dealt with now. And I've got part 67 there waiting to go, but I'm going to have a little look through that. First, I'm going to try and do it. I mean, unless I happen to be putting like 2 or 3 parts together in the one day, and I want to get up the next again day and start again or something like that, then I might chuck something out there that's not been reviewed. But we shall see. Okay, so now this changes things slightly. So we've had the third corps impulse in between, the repairing the points. We've done a couple of things ourselves with, was it 40th Army? Yeah, 40th Army, and then we replaced the point as well, didn't we? Oh, and by the way, I noticed also when I seen that this looked like the hex he was going, that now these units are not proximate to this town, this VP hex. I mean, I've got to remember though that they are proximate to a unit in that hex. So if something arose where this unit was to activate, he might well go back into that town because we are proximate to a unit in that town. However, we are not proximate to the actual VP hex now, because every one of these units would be moving from zone of control to zone of control. So that whole thing about trying to get in there when we had that impulse in between wouldn't have mattered anyway. So in fact, yeah, was I not, that's just as well this has been brought out then, was I not trying to do it and then the units couldn't trace supply or something like that. I'm losing touch with things. Right, so this was the next impulse then. Now this is going to change things slightly because, well, this unit was in here and he was part of the 8 units that we were grabbing with the Kampf group. So now I think it's going to be one less unit. My guess is it's going to be here, which will get 3, 4, and then the 3 there is 7. If I put it here, that's 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it is going to go in the same hex, but unfortunately it's not going to pick up this guy, so that could change things. Okay, yeah, and well, let's just start through the action steps. It's nothing behind Soviet lines. Move to VP hex. Well, I think we already looked at the fact that if we could get one of the units in there, I think they would go, because like I've just said, that these units would be proximate to it once it moved in there. But none of these 7 units can get anywhere near that. Now, they could, but I'm pretty sure we looked at this as well, didn't we? Because nothing's really changed from that point, it's just that unit moved away. That we could put something into here, but again, no Soviet unit. If, for instance, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, then that would work, but he's surrounded, so he can't move at all. So none of that. So we then move on to their action cards. We've drawn, these are the 2 action cards we draw, forward attack and strengthen. with forward attack going first. And we're looking for situational strength of active unit stat and other active units greater than or equal to 3 times proximate Soviet unit stack. So we decide that now we're 1 less unit here, so now unit 3 here would be the wage unit. Okay, got a reply back from Martin again, and I get what he's saying now about the wage unit, and to be honest I should have realised what he was meaning. That, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I was trying to say that a wage unit's only really involved when you're carrying out an attack action. Well, it isn't really. It does say that. This is checking an action card 10.4. When called for by an action step, draw a German action card. Most action cards describe a situation which must apply in order to conduct the described action. Some action cards list only an action performed by placing garrison markers. And then it goes on, how to check. Check to see if the action card situation applies. I won't read the rest of that bit, but right, the next again sentence is, the unit being checked is referred to as a wage unit. So, and you know, I glanced through some of the action cards in the discard pile. If you look at them, I mean, if they're not attack actions, right, they're just, this is active unit able to move. So I mean, okay, when we look at the situation and in descending order that we decide that, say, this unit 10 is next to look at, he then does become the lead unit. He is the lead unit in this check. But Martin's kind of said at the end of his thing, look, I think you should just kind of forget about it, because it doesn't really, it kind of, in some ways, could confuse the situation, really, because there's only one unit there you're looking at here. However, when we look at bold attack, it is strength of active unit stack. I'll let that bus go away. There's a bus stop right there as well, you probably noticed. Situational strength of active unit stack. So that's when, and then you're going to move these units accordingly, you know, and then the bigger ones that come into this, because this is active unit stack and other active units, so you're looking at multiple units, so it doesn't matter that this matters about a lead unit, whereas I don't feel like these cards do. However, it is correct though in the fact that every check that you make, no matter what you're doing, it is a lead unit, so there is that. Right, what was I doing there? Right, we're checking this strength. Well, so he's the lead unit, okay, so, and then this is the weakest unit that he can possibly do anything about. Right, hang on though, Grant. Well, it is, isn't it? Because I've already looked, I must have looked at these things, because this unit down here is actually only 2 strength and is dispersed as well, which it probably gives them a -1 for that. But this unit can't move away from there. Again, we've been there before. He would be breaking surround, so he can't move to there. Now, what I think I worked out before was he could maybe, oh, hang on, that's while that unit was there. So I don't even think he could go out and in and move to here. Not that he was going to do it anyway, because we checked all that, didn't we? So this unit is the weakest unit this unit can check. So can the rest of, because it's active unit stack and other active units, so can the rest of them come and join that? Well, next again unit to look at would be unit 4, and he's here, but I think we found none of these can get around, can they? Let's say, I think I said before, we tried a wee shortcut before, because for some reason this guy's invisible to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, so this mechanised unit can only get as far around it here, and there could be infantry in there as well, so can't get involved in this. So the only other active units that can get involved are all these 3. Now they could certainly just move into that hex or that hex. That's the best they can do. Is that enough strength? 4, 7, 11. Oh, it is not. Hang on though. Oh, well that has changed things up quite a bit then, hasn't it? Because with the extra strength in this unit before, which we're now not getting, so it is only 11. Now he gets a +1 for being adjacent, it's a -1 for the card. He's not got an IP. Defender adjacent gives him a +1. He's in a supported hex. Command value card. German command value is 4, so that's a -1. So +1, -1. It's not major offensive. So in actual fact, yeah, that's 11 against 4, so that is not 3-1. Okay. Well, that's not going to happen then. So this might not be able to do anything then with the forward attack. So next check would be Unit 4 here, and he is stacked with another 3 strength. So that's 6. However, my guess is that if they can't get around there, then they can't get around here. Because we can't get through this gap. And that hex is fully stacked. So we'd have to get away around to here, and that's not going to happen, is it? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need the 8 movement to get right round to there. So not going to happen. And that would be 6 against 4, +1, -1. So it's 6 against 4, so it's nowhere near 3-1. However, Grant, this little dispersed guy. Right, so that's a check on Unit 4. And to be honest, I don't even think we need to get to check in 15 and 17, but just because of where they are, they can't really move. Can't really get round. Neither can get round to help each other because of this big stack of Russian Soviet units in the middle here, Grant. Yeah, the ones you keep thinking aren't there. Right, okay, move on to unit selector number 6. So his weakest possibility is surely going to be this 2 strength dispersed unit, who would get a +1, -1, but then all defending units dispersed gets another -1. So he gets a net -1, so he becomes a 1. So, and that is going to be, well, that unit moving alone is 3-1. So here we have a situation that applies. Just want to look carefully just in case. No, because this guy's a 3, and remember it doesn't have the engineers on this, so he would still benefit from his +1 for the IP, +1 for being adjacent. So you'd get a net +1 once we took the -1 away. Yeah, I don't think we need to look any further, do we? These guys have got 5 strength, +1, -1. Okay, so we can come and attack this guy, this dispersed unit. So the situational strength of active unit stack and other active units greater than or equal to 3 times proximate Soviet unit stack. Okay, so the lead unit's going to move. Now he can get to this hex or this hex. Yeah, that's it. He's got 2 choices. So 10.54. Page always, the book always seems to be open at that bit. Well, not always, but yeah. Yeah, I think I've not moaned before about that. That would have been nice on the player aid. I'm not moaning. Come on, I know, guys. I've already said that. What is it? 43 pages compressed into 8 player aid pages is quite an achievement in itself. So I praise everything about that. even though I suppose some of that compression, I think John knows himself that probably in the future going to have to be slightly more careful with that. Because the thing with that bit, there's probably enough space that you could have got. Well, I'm going to write something on. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I've just not got a pen handy. A pencil might be better. Anyway, I'll get around to that. Okay, so we're moving adjacent. We prefer a hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded. No, we can't surround. He's going to have an out hex here, isn't he? Yeah, he's going to have a hex here. So going there does not do that. A hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. And with that sort of wording change, it doesn't matter. Both of them are not adjacent or occupied even. And then an empty hex, well, they're both empty. A hex occupied solely by most movement points to reach. They're both going to be the same. No, they're not. This is broken. So yeah, it's 2 to get in here, and we're looking at this mech unit, so it's 1, 2, 3 to get in there. Oh, there you go then. And so that did make a bit of a change, because I was just about to say, right, it's going to be a lowest numbered hex, which would have been there, but that does take 1 more movement point to reach. That's why it asks most movement points to reach. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he was the lead unit. He's now moved. Now we go back and look at the lowest, in ascending order, the lowest number. So this is now where we go back and look at this guy. Now we know that this guy can't come and help. Yes, he's got the movement to do it, but he's going to remove surround from this guy, this stack, this invisible stack of Soviet units. So we'll just, we can't move him. Next again is Unit 4, but yeah, we know he can't get down there, or his 2 buddies, so we'll not bother looking at them when the time comes. So it's only going to be these 2 units, 9 and 10. So 9 is going to be able to reach both these hexes. It's going to come down to empty hex. I'm not going to mess about. He's going to go in there. So, and then he's going to then want to come to either one. And it's going to go right to the tie break, because none of these are empty. And he's infantry, so it only costs him 2 to move to either hex. So, and then lowest numbered hex, which would be the tiebreaker, is that one. So they would go there. And now, yeah, again, hang on. Just with that last unit moving, that's the one that you need to be wary of. Although we've got these surrounded now, haven't we? Oops. I think there was an issue before about when I move. And then again, would it not be surroundable himself? Well, that's not the point. If he moves out of there and enables this guy to be in dangerous round, then he'll not want to do it. I don't think so, because now these Soviet units are all locked in, aren't they? Yeah, I don't believe he's breaking any restriction. But I can never be sure about anything right now. So yeah, well, just as well I had a better look, yeah. Although I'm saying these guys aren't actually surrounded. Now, hang on, were we breaking surrounding? I think we were. Yeah, this guy is actually, well, that's stacky units. However, we've been able to move 1 out of the hex, 2 out of the hex. We can't move the 3rd one out of the hex because these guys are surrounded. This guy's clearly surrounded by these 2 units. These cannot go here. Cannot go here because this unit's here. Now, yes, the unit could move to here, and that would still keep them surrounded, but that's not what he needs to either go to here or here. And it doesn't matter, whatever hex he chooses to go to, then this unit is now not surrounded and can move to here. Not only that, he can actually surround this guy. So that kind of means we've got a bit of a situation. Well, no. I'm still not quite sure about this one, Martin. So I know I've talked about it before, and I know you said there was a change. There was a change to the rules in regards when you're checking proximity. What was it? Was it regarding the restrictions? I can't remember, but maybe if you get what I'm asking here, maybe you could make something clear. I know this came up in the previous game as well, that although, I think this is what you were trying to say, wasn't it? I think you were trying to say that we shouldn't have been including this as part of the strength because he can't actually move. Whereas before, in the previous game, you would have counted his strength and then he wouldn't have been able to move. Is that right, Martin? Is that what you're saying? Whereas before in Ardennes, we would count up all the strength, no matter if they could move or not, and then find out they couldn't move and the attack would still go ahead, sometimes with less strength than what they needed to satisfy the situation. However, in this game, they've changed that to only counting the strength that would be allowed to move. And does that then still need to satisfy the situation with that, Martin? Like, if, for instance, this was needed to satisfy the situation and it wasn't able to come down, does that not satisfy the situation, or does it satisfy it and he doesn't move? I think you should get what I'm asking there. And is this a bit that changed from the other game? Okay. Well, yeah, if you can answer any of that, I'd appreciate it. If you know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter with this because this is still 5 strength against situationally a 1. So we are still getting 5 to 1 situationally on this. So it is going to go ahead. He is not going to move though because he's going to break surround from both these units, I think. Yes. Okay. Right, so all active units proximate to qualifying target move, adjacent, prefer target weakest. Well, we've got the weakest, we've done all that before. Non-active proximate units and lead units core join the attack. So any non-active third core units, because he's the lead unit, there is not. All the third, well, actually, there is. These are non-active up here. Third core units, but they're a little bit far away, so they're not proximate to come and join the attack. Okay. Right, and then we may end in dangerous rounds, so we can forget about all that. We just need to remember about the restrictions that we could be breaking from moving, like we did there, and we spotted it and we got it, and hopefully all is good in the world. Right. So if greater than or equal to 5 steps are attacking, there was only 4. Break off combat at A2, so otherwise A1. So we're going to break off at A1, and they have air power to start with. Okay, so let's work out some numbers. And so it's 5 to 2. Now, remember, we're not situationally anymore. So 5 to 2 is 2 to 1. 2 to 1, and I just wanted to know about. I just wanted to double check the dispersed situation again. So if all units are dispersed, I cannot play combat tactics. And we subtract 1 hit incurred by the attacker. and unit stack can retreat only 1 hex. Yeah, so I can only retreat 1 hex as well. And they get to forget about 1 hat. We cannot play any cards, so there's no point in looking at them. Right, so 2-to-1 odds at the moment, and he's getting 1, 2, 3 chip pulls for the air power, but we still do need to draw a card. So we shall draw a combat tactics for the Germans, and we get a reinforced battle. Oh, that's a hit for us then, because surely nothing can yeah, nothing can reinforce it, I don't think. This guy, I'm pretty sure he's holding surround as well, but he can't get through. He can't get through here. None of these can get through. Obviously, if these could have came down, they would have done because they're active. Yeah, there's nothing there, so he's not getting that now. And he doesn't get a chit draw for that, does he? No. That's good then. That's good. Okay, wait, I'll move things a little bit here. Okay, so there we go. 2-to-1 odds, 3 chip pools, and he has air power. He's going to break off either at A1 or he eliminates us now. What would he need to eliminate then? D2, I think. There's 1 to retreat 1 hex. We can only retreat 1 hex, so it's only D2, and we are dispersed. So there's risks. There's not a lot of chip pools, but there's still risks here. Right, so it's a minimum of 1, maximum of 3. So I'll go and get the minimum 1. Remember, we can't play any combat tactics because we're dispersed. So I'll get the minimum 1. Oh, that'll do. Well, that's where we're going to stop, aren't we? It was 9-to-1 on the front, less than 4-to-1 on the back. They've only got 2-to-1 odds. Yeah, so that's a win for us. I was hoping for a defender adjacent chit, because that would have been good. But well, that's even better, to be honest, because they're going to stop at A1, aren't they? They only had 4 steps. Greater than or equal to 5 steps, break off at A2, otherwise A1. We now have A1, so they're not going to draw any more chits. And we're going to have to take a hit. Let's move them back up there just now. Okay, and they take it on they have to take first hit as a step loss, so they take it on the highest selector number. So that infantry unit in there. And yeah, that's that. Well, that was pretty good. We'll take that. Right, probably nothing more to look at then in the forward attack, I don't think. That was unit 6, 9, we've done 3, 4, yeah. So the only other unit that we haven't sort of checked would be unit 10, but he's got 2 strength, and we've already said that he can't really move. He's kind of restricted himself into moving away from there. So, yeah, that's going to be that with a forward attack nonsense, I believe. Yeah, as you can see, I'm like, you're just, like, when you start making clumsy mistakes like I've been making recently, you're putting cards away thinking, is this really finished? Am I really done with this? Shouldn't I be doing double checking, triple checking? Right, strengthen. Active unit and non-VP hex and proximate to VP hex occupied by at least 1 German step. Active unit and non-VP hex proximate to VP hex occupied by at least 1 German step. No, we don't have any German units that are in a VP hex, never mind anything else. We've got them all empty actually. This one's empty, this one's empty. Not that we could reach any of them, and this one's empty. Well, actually we could reach that one, possibly, with one of the active units. But there's no German unit there with 1 step, so that's that. Right, so let's move on, because this is just going to end up being a part by itself, I think now. and running out of space. Who would have thought? Right. Well, is there a lot more to do? Maybe not. We should probably better run through this. So that's steps 3 and 4. Step 5, my favourite, move to hex that removes dangerous sound from German unit. And the hex and Soviet support or enable supply trace from German occupied hex. Right. None of these are in dangerous surround. This guy here is not in danger of surround. I don't believe. Sorry, I'm just looking the other side of them there, but yeah, I mean 1, 2, 3. No, I don't think so. Got an infantry unit down here. If it'd been a mech unit, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean, we can get something out of there. That doesn't really help. I mean, this guy could go out and into there right enough, but yeah, we can't go out and in with these guys, can we? Well, we could go to there. He's going to have an out hex here, isn't he? That's what we're saying. There's his out hex. Are you sure, Grant? Final answer. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can get a zone of control in that hex. That's the way to do it, Grant. Because if you look at a hex, and remember I was marking them with that for a while, wasn't I? And just saying, look, can you move a Soviet unit that exerts a zone of control onto that hex? Can you do that? If you can do that, then we might have an issue. I can't do that. Right, okay. Moving on. Right, so is there anything else in this area that is in dangerous surround? Well, these are not, because like I've said, none of these units can move while this unit is here. Which means these are not in dangerous surround. Hold on, Grant. Maybe forgetting about these guys. Well, and this guy, but I don't think. Again, let's look. Can we exert Soviet zone of control on that hex there? Remember, these guys can't move from here to here or here to here. This guy can't move from here to here, and he can't even go from here to here, and you know. So no, I don't think they are in dangerous surround. That's their out hex there. Yeah, feeling okay about that. That's as best as we're going to say. Okay. So yeah, I don't think there's anything in there that is in danger of surround. This guy up here is okay as well. These are all surrounded, like I said, so can't get round about. No, it's all quite tight in there actually. It's all very tight. I'll tell you what, we're going to have supply issues if we don't do something. We're going to have serious supply issues. So that's these units move further down now. Okay, so step 5, we're going to move on. Step 6, move proximate to empty Soviet VP hex. No. Hang on. Let's just have a wild look at that one. He's breaking zone of control though, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no. Yeah, he would have been close to that one, but not quite as well. One hex short, but we've got that one covered now. So no, none of that. Step 7, move to hex that causes surround of Soviet unit. No, and remember these are all surrounded. This is surrounded. We cannot get a unit into here, and we cannot get a unit into here. We can get something there or there, but they've got, this is their out hex, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so we can't surround anything. And then step 8, if not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to nearest Soviet unit. Well, there's only one unit that's not adjacent, there's this guy. But, as well, he could move adjacent to them, couldn't he? Because, right, well, let's look at it then. Move closer to nearest Soviet unit. So these are 2 away, and these are 2 away. But we know if we move closer to this or this, it's then removing surround from these 2 units. So I can't move there and I can't move there. However, I might well be able to move there, there, or there. So move closer. Adjacent to Soviet unit. This is one where we just stop now and move on to 10.54 or not. So if we were moving adjacent, one of the hexes, hex would cause Soviet unit to become surrounded. Well, it wouldn't cause because they're already surrounded. Hex not adjacent to German unit. Oh, right, we've got something there. So, right, how's the wording again? A hex not occupied by or adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So if I move here, I'm adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. If I move here, the same thing. However, if I move here, I'm not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So that's where he would move unless he's breaking any restrictions. Don't cause Soviet proximity, don't cause any German unit in hex and Soviet support to be put in dangerous round. That is not putting anybody in dangerous round. Don't cause surrounded Soviet unit to be unsurrounded. Well, he was causing surrounding these. By moving there, these are still surrounded, so all good. So if not in dangerous round, don't end move in dangerous round. He wasn't in dangerous round, he's still not in dangerous round. His out hex is here, or here for that matter. The Soviets cannot get a zone of control in either one of these hexes. Yeah, so he's gonna move there, I think. Okay. Right, and then step 9 is remove dispersed marker from any units that were active. So these units didn't do anything, but they are keeping this guy surrounded, so there is that. Okay, well, how confident I feel that all went to plan? Well, there's a couple of bits in it that I stopped and adjusted again and almost brought this unit down for the battle. We noticed that would have been a mistake. Again, well, should have been easy to see that he was breaking that restriction, but you could see where you could miss it, I suppose. So glad that I didn't. Right, I'll get this tidied up, and I'm just going to put this out here as a part now because it's almost an hour long. So I'll tidy these units up, and yeah, I should be able to get a wee bit more done today as well. So, but I think I'm going to go and review a bit of footage just now and have some lunch and get ready for a bit later this afternoon. Okay, hopefully there's no errors here, but it's definitely no guarantees now. Yeah, that promise that I wasn't going to make a mistake again. Although it was tongue-in-cheek, it was like, yeah, let's just remove that. Okay, right, I'll be back later. Cheers.